fuck America, but also like, yay, freedom hypothetically. Freedom if she were real. Freedom if she were in the room with us. And also, yay, me slaying a red lip. Hi cuties! Welcome back to my channel. My name's Ella, if you don't know. And today, I'm gonna do a little bit of a different video. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna have like chill indie music in the background of some random footage. I just wanted to talk to y'all about my summer bucket list. For the past like 3 years, I feel like every summer on TikTok, there's been a thing, at least for like teen girls on TikTok, saying like, your signs make a summer bucket list, or go make a summer bucket list with your besties. And then it always has that song that's like, take me to your best friend's house, remixed with the Judy Moody Not Bummer Summer soundbite or whatever it's called. And me and my best friend fell for that propaganda, so to speak, last year, and we did the whole big craft. I bought poster board and glitter glue just to make a summer bucket list. And I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, it was like fun. And I don't even like crafts like that. But it was like fun coming up with stuff. However, there was a problem, which was that we then had a giant thing of poster board and like 50 things on our bucket list, and we each had like stuff to do, so we completed like maybe 10 of them. So we definitely scaled down a little bit this year. We did it on like a singular piece of paper. Less of a fun craft, but it was very cute still. And this year it will definitely be more attainable. But on top of that, I just really like the idea of having like a to-do list or a bucket list or something like that, just to kind of have stuff you're looking forward to, and then also just have your life together more. Like, I feel like that really helps me. So, in addition to making another bucket list with my best friend, I have made my own summer bucket list for 2025, and I would highly encourage y'all, especially my other rising freshmen, to do the same. For this list, I tried to have a mix of like fun things that I want to do, and then also like necessary things that I have to do and have to figure out before I start college at the end of the summer. So I'm gonna be going through everything on this list, alternating between like serious things and then more fun things. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all, and then hopefully, at least for the more serious stuff, give y'all like some idea of what you need to get done. I need to stop playing with my hair. Holy shit. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go through that. I made the entire list on Notion, which, by the way, comment below if you want like a Notion tour, because I'm trying to get back into that. Yeah, so if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my computer to see everything laid out. Anyways, let's get into it. So, the first item on my summer 2025 bucket list is buy dorm essentials. This is pretty obvious for anyone who's going to be living on campus, which my school makes you live on campus for 4 years, which is like, I have mixed feelings about that. Anyways, obviously, I'm gonna be in a dorm pretty soon. I gotta get stuff for that. And when I say dorm essentials, I mean like, your school will probably have a packing list somewhere. For mine, it was like buried in my school's like student life section of their website. Um, but so yeah, stuff you know you need, like sheets, a hamper, storage containers, like command strips, really boring stuff like that. And that leads perfectly into our next, more fun one, which is buying dorm decor. And for me, this is literally just like throw pillows and like wall prints. I have so much stuff saved on Etsy and Pinterest and all of that. I haven't actually bought anything more decor centered yet, even though I've bought a lot of like functional stuff for my dorm, just because I want to get like all the boring functional stuff out of the way first. But I am very excited to decorate my dorm. Probably too excited. I think my standards are a bit too high, realistically, since this is gonna be like a shared room, and also since I am on a budget. But in my head, this is gonna be the most beautiful living space to ever be, that I will never mess up, even though I literally said that I'm messy on my like housing application, which is true. Very, very true. That's enough for dorm stuff because the next thing on my list is to decide on courses. Now, course registration for every school is very different. I have a friend who like made her schedule already. I personally won't be making mine until the end of August because that's when that just happens for us. It happens like right at the same time as move in because my school is like small and weird and I don't know. Even though I don't have to register for my courses yet, I still want to have an idea of the courses I want to take as well as backups for all of those because I don't want to come into course selection like hella unprepared. I want to be able to get that done with. So far that's just been me like kind of looking through like what factors I want in a course. Like smaller, I don't want 8 a.m.s. Obviously taking intro level stuff because I'm a freshman, stuff like that. And then once I get my AP scores back, I'm going to like see what I can get out of and then also kind of look more specifically into taking specific courses. My school is open curriculum, which means we have like one writing seminar required course, but other than that, there's no required courses like at all. So I don't have to do any gen eds. So I'm definitely trying to think of like what categories of classes I want to do. But I would say if you do go to a school that has gen eds, try to knock those out first if you can't get them done another way, like through AP credit or whatever. Just because, I don't know, that shit sounds annoying. That's why I had to go to a school that doesn't have it. But I would say if you do have gen eds, probably get those out of the way. I don't really know. Don't take my advice on fucking normal colleges. The next thing on my list is that I want to read 5 books before the summer is over. Because some people that might sound like a ton, to others that sounds like nothing. But I've been like really off of my reading lately, which I always am in school, and then kind of pick it up more in the summer just because I suddenly have free time. So, I mean, I'm hoping that will be pretty attainable. I already have a book that I'm working on so far. It's called Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World, which is the sequel to the book Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. It's like a romance, kind of YA, but like also it's way too fucking like sad and deep to be a YA, but it's about teenagers. So somewhere in that range. But it's really good. I'm really enjoying it so far. It kind of has like that slow, like, yes, there's a plot, but it's more so about moments, kind of like writing style, which I really enjoy reading. So I haven't finished it, but so far would recommend. So next on my list, which is probably the least fun one, is fall into a cleaning routine. I really need to become a more clean and organized person. So I don't entirely even know what this means for myself yet, but I know I want to have like a consistent day where I do my laundry. Having that, getting into the habit of like vacuuming once or twice a week because my room is carpet, so that's like really bad. Um, Putting my makeup brushes away and stuff whenever I do my makeup, making my bed every morning, washing dishes as soon as I use them, stuff like that that I just want to become more habitual so I can be more organized. It's not fun and I don't think I'm going to be very good at it, but I feel so much better when I'm in a clean space and I hate having to like go out of my way to do like big cleaning projects, but that's what always happens when you let little things build up. So I'm gonna try to not let the little things build up anymore. And I'm also gonna try to stop shaking my mic and just have my hand be steady. And I'm definitely not gonna succeed at that. My next item is to go to an amusement park or a water park or both. So when I was really, really little, like kindergarten age to like 3rd grade ish, I would go with my mom and my friend and her mom, or sometimes just my mom, to Storyland, which is like this amusement park for little kids. It's kind of like Disney for woke New Englanders. So it's like super small, but it's all based around like classic like fairy tales and stuff. So like they had a Cinderella's castle, they had a little Goldilocks house, they had this section with like three little pigs and like a black sheep for Baba Black Sheep and like all that stuff that I loved. Also, I just realized I said it was a Goldilocks house. That house belongs to the bears, to be clear. Goldilocks is 100% in the wrong throughout that entire story. Judgy ass bitch. But I digress. So yeah, if we go to that, they also had like rides that were like mostly for little kids and like a little splash pad, I think. I don't know. That was really fun. And then kind of around like middle school age ish, we had a few years of going to Canopy Lake Park, which is just like a smaller version of Six Flags, and then Water Country, which is a water park. But in recent time, I have not been to an amusement park or a water park. Like, it's forever. And I think roller coasters are like one of my favorite things ever. Yeah, I really, 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 really want to go back to Canopy and hopefully back to Water Country with some friends at some point this summer. And I'm like fucking willing to shell out the money. Kind of. Okay, next, another serious, responsible one is falling into a workout routine. So I've actually been going to the gym since kind of school let out pretty consistently. I did like 4 days a week the first 2 weeks, and then I did 5 days a week last week, and we'll hopefully do 5 days a week again this week. I'm filming on a Monday, so I went today, so that's something because I'll be living like next to a gym more or less in college, and then also it will be free. Or nothing is free in college. Everything in college you pay for when you pay like your tuition and housing and stuff. But it is available to me, and I really want to exercise because it's like good for your mental health, good for your physical health. I don't need to defend exercise to anyone, I don't think. I really want to make sure I'm in the habit of going to the gym this summer so then it feels more natural to do in the school year. Next item on the list, movie nights. Originally, this wasn't going to be on my list for two reasons. One, my TV is like small. I don't have a good space for a movie night experience. I feel like I'd rather just like watch a movie like in my bed. And then also like the whole like social act of like having friends over for a movie night or like going to the movies, I'm really bad at because I talk the entire time. But my friend sent me this thing that I think some school in the city is doing. I think it's Northeastern, where they're having like free movie nights in different places around Boston. And that sounds fun. And also like fine for my whole talking issue because the movies, at least the ones we want to see, are like Shrek, Mean Girls, I don't know, other like classics where it's like kind of reacting to it is I feel like the point. Like no one is going to see Mean Girls for the first time at some random screening by a college, or at least I would kind of hope not. And it's also just more enjoyable to be like in a group setting watching a movie that everyone knows. I feel like that would be fun and still doable for me. So yeah, I definitely want to go to a couple of those, especially Mean Girls, because I don't even know how as Mean Girls, we love it. We love that shit. Next on my list is learning how to cook, which y'all know if you've seen my cooking vlog, and if you haven't seen my cooking vlog, you should go back and watch it. I actually kind of hate that I wrote it like this, like learn to cook, because I don't think learning to cook is necessarily a huge thing. I feel like me saying that, someone's gonna be like, well, that's how I know you haven't learned yet. And like, probably. But I feel like it's more so just about getting comfortable cooking, and specifically with like skills that are more universal to different types of recipes. So even with small stuff, like, so stuff like knowing how to store your meat so you can like, it's like not frozen when you eat it, but it also doesn't go bad. Checking expiration dates on like produce, learning what it means to like dice vegetables versus slice vegetables, stuff like that. Because I feel like learning to cook, you're not gonna know every recipe, and you can get really good at like basic tasks, but then maybe someday you do a different recipe and you have to try to like, I don't know, broil. Is that the thing people do? I don't know. There's different aspects of cooking that, depending on what you cook more often, aren't gonna be practiced as much. So I say just getting comfortable trying new things with cooking, and then also learning like food preparation. Those are my two biggest goals for that. Next thing on my list is to have a picnic. I can actually cross this one off because just yesterday, me and a couple of girls that I'm gonna go to college with who live in Boston, or like the Boston area, met up and we had a little picnic and it was super cute. We had it at the Boston Public Garden, right in front of like the little Make Way for Ducklings statue. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up because that is the cutest story ever. Read Make Way for Ducklings to your children. Is it propaganda? A little bit, but like it's the best. ACAB except for the cop and Make Way for Ducklings. The picnic itself was like super pretty and it was hot outside but we were in the shade so it was like nice. And then we had like a bunch of fruit and we got pound cake and it was scrumptious. Honestly, it's the only word for it. And yeah, I can cross that off, but I would love to do another picnic at a different spot, maybe like on a beach or something. So definitely crossing it off my list, but I want another one. Next on my list is to finish the draft of my novel that I'm currently working on. I have been working on the same novel for about a year and a half now. I started it for NaNoWriMo last year in my creative writing class. NaNoWriMo, if you don't know, stands for National Novel Writing Month. You're supposed to write a novel of 50,000 words. It's like the NaNoWriMo challenge. And they can be like the worst things you've ever written. So it is. So that was my first draft, which is like 50,000 words of something. It wasn't even finished, technically. I think I got like a little more than halfway done with the story. And then I did some like major edits, and now I'm doing more major edits. But the edits I'm doing this time are like completely rewriting like plot points, so it's kind of like writing a draft all over again. So there is very much something for me to finish. I like writing a lot. I've been wanting to get more back into writing, but it is also a less fun task at the same time because I do want this to be like something that I am successful at, is noveling and being a published author someday. And I don't think that's gonna come at the end of this summer, obviously, but that is something that I really do want to be locked in on. And next is another hobby based thing, and that is learn to sew fucking anything. I've tried sewing a couple times, but I feel like now, the summer, I have the most free time and the most access to a sewing machine. So I really do want to like log in and practice sewing and learn to sew something, which, a fun fact about sewing is like 80% ironing. It's like ironing and cutting is so much, which is kind of stressful because you have to be very precise. But I would like to, I don't know, keep doing that, keep working on that. I love fashion. I feel like I say that all the time. And yeah, I love fashion. I would love to be able to contribute to fashion. I think it sounds like a fun skill, and it is one that I would like to have. Next on my list is to save my money. My goal is to have at minimum $1,000 saved by September 1st. I don't know if this is like a big goal or not. Like, based on what I'm making this summer, like with my summer job, it's pretty low to attainable. I don't really know how to explain like how I do my budget to y'all. I don't know. If y'all want like a budgeting video, like teen college student budgeting video, let me know. I'd be down to make that. I will say I use YNAB for my budget. You have to pay for it. I think you get a free trial for like a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months. I don't know. You get a free trial for some amount of time, and then you have to pay for it. I actually don't know how much it is because my parents pay for it. But it's really useful, and if you're someone who's like not organized or don't like making your own organizational charts, I think it's probably worth it. I believe if my mom pays for it, it's probably worth it because that woman is frugal. I would say just in general, going into college, definitely have money in savings because you never know. And then also getting the practice of budgeting. I've been doing that for the past couple years. I think it's very helpful. Next on my list is to celebrate the 4th of July. Now, I think I've like properly celebrated the 4th, like fireworks and everything, like once in my life. My family has never been big on the 4th for a few different reasons. And I will be the first to say that America is terrible in general and really declined as of late. I don't want to talk a ton about politics because I don't fucking know anything and I'm not as well researched as I like should be. But I will say trans rights are human rights. Trans people are in fact real, and also immigrants are like people with lives and contributions to society who like shouldn't be violently attacked and deported for no fucking reason. So yeah, like I said, I don't know a lot, but the current administration is stressing me out, especially as a queer person. But that being said, I want to see fireworks. And I want to eat hot dogs and wear red, white, and blue because I look really good in all 3 of those colors and all that stuff. So me and my friend are gonna try to plan something for the 4th. It's like ironic, okay? We both say fuck America, but like we're here for the vibes. I just think that sounds kind of fun. Like that trend where it's like some girl listened to like Shake It For Me Country Girl or whatever that song's called, like in a liberal way. That's me, like with the 4th of July. Anyways, yeah. Fuck America, but also like, yay, freedom hypothetically. Freedom if she were real. Freedom if she were in the room with us. And also, yay, me slaying a red lip. That's really what this is all about. The July is a reason for me to look hot. Moving on, the next thing on my summer bucket list is to get to know my college roommate. I cannot complete this until August 1st, which is the same day as the new Renee Rapp album. So, very exciting day. But that's when we get our roommates and housing assignments and all of that. And y'all, have I got a story for you. This girl really wanted a single, but I was like, yo, if you can't get a single, do you want to like put each other as roommates? Like, because we have similar decor styles, we got talking, we have like similar sleep patterns, similar like temperatures and like lighting and stuff we like, all of that shit. So she was like, yeah, bet. So we like, that was the plan. We like talked, we figured out what house we wanted to like put as our top and like the neighborhoods we liked and all that stuff. And then someone in like our big like college's group chat that has like too many people made a poll of like, do you have a roommate or are you doing a random roommate, or do you just like not care / do you want a single? And I put I have a roommate and she put don't care, want a single, which was like like weird but fine because I knew she wanted a single more than she wanted to room with me. And I also like want a single. I just also know I'm a freshman and not gonna get a single. So I was like trying to be prepared. Anyways, then she decided to take a gap year after the housing form has come out and I've already filled it out. She's like, yeah, I'm taking a gap year. So I didn't have time to find another roommate before she decided that, obviously, because I filled out the housing form and then she made that decision. And it's like, I mean, have fun, I guess. But dude, but yeah, now I'm doing a random roommate assignment, which is kind of fine, except one, I have very specific expectations for what my decor should look like. And look, y'all, I'm going to a school with a bunch of lesbians and other queer females. And we as a people tend to be eccentric. And all love to the eccentricness. I'm eccentric in my fashion, not today. But like, all respect, baddies for sure. But my personal like decor style is very minimalist and lacks a lot of color. Like I really want a black and white room with like little pink accents here and there. And basically every single person I've met is like the opposite of that. And obviously, I haven't met every single person going to my school, but there's that. And also just the roommate form in terms of like compatibility was like pretty short and I feel like not that good. Like it asked what temperature you like your room. It asked if you're like a morning person or night person, but the time ranges for that were like super vague and it's like I don't know. Like it's a lot of the questions were very binary, so it's like you just kind of put yes or no to each of them and it's like there's just more nuance or like if I got to discuss this with a person, I feel like it would be better. That's not entirely the school's fault because obviously you have hundreds of people you have to like assign to each other. You're not going to be able to customize it perfectly to every individual, but that's why it just would have been nice if finding someone on my own had like worked out. But it didn't. So all that to say, I want to get to know my roommate like as soon as housing comes out. And I mean that more so in terms of like get to know their preferences and like the range of things or like where they fall on the spectrum of like boiling their room temperature when they wake up, substance use, fucking loud or quiet, social party or versus studying a lot, like all that shit that was on the forum, as well as other things the forum didn't ask about, just so we can find compromises before we get there, because I am trying to protect my peace. I'm gonna make some sacrifices, obviously. I'm gonna live with someone. I can't be like completely selfish, but it's like I need to be prepared for that before I'm there, and that person should be as well. Alright. And the last thing on this list, which sounds really fucking sad, is to see everyone I love at least once before I leave. Now, I'm not taking major goodbyes, I'm not having a grad party or anything, but it's just, there's a lot of people that, like, I just kind of haven't seen in a while that I would like to be able to see before I'm in a whole different side of the state. And then also, obviously, like, my friends from school and stuff gonna be all around the country. And so, like, seeing them, thanking people for stuff they've done, and just, like, getting to spend time with people before we're all in completely new social environments. So, yeah, that's my goal. Obviously, people like my best friends, I plan to see, like, 4 or 5 times minimum. That probably doesn't sound like a lot, but y'all, I got work. Like, I'm busy. I'm a busy girl. But definitely seeing them, seeing less close friends a couple times as well. And then other people, like I have old bosses that I want to like say thank you to, old mentors, just stuff like that. That is everything on my bucket list for summer 2025. Let me know if you think there's something that I need to add. If you like you were a college freshman and you're like, if you don't do this one thing this summer, you're gonna die next year. Stuff like that. And then also let me know in the comments, what are your goals for the summer? What are your summer plans? Like all that stuff. I just want to chat with y'all. As always, if you want to see more of me and my face, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, both at Ellabella Inc. And until next time, bye cuties! Tell me now you're the one.